pollution?
I think our country, Turkey, is the most make polite because in our country nobody cares environments. Some of people maybe care, but in my opinion, Turkish people is a little bit don't care about environment, and because they throw away their bins everywhere, and we pollute our sea without thinking what will happen in the future. We don't protect our trees. We always cut them and make a new building in there.
So you think Turkey is the worst in the world?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, and which
I
one is which is the best then?
oh, Japan. Yeah,
Japan does the least pollution.
maybe. I think yeah, or yeah, Japan. I
Japan, okay. Because Japan just had a nuclear power plant that
I
exploded and went in the ocean. Okay, interesting. Yildiray, what do you think? Which country causes the most pollution?
I think China, maybe, or Iran,
China or Iran?
the most pollution, because they have a big uh, fabric or industry. Uh, so they pollute the air, I think.
Good, lots of air pollution.
And uh, people population much more than the other country. So this is the worst country, I think.
Very good. Yeah, exactly. China, there's so many people and so much air pollution. Exactly. Which one do you think is the best, causes the least pollution?
Mm, I don't know. Maybe European country uh, uh, have a good weather or nature. Uh, mm, so they found international community for protect nature. Uh, I think
Good. Good. Very good. Thank you. Hassan, what about you? What country do you think causes the most pollution?
I think China is country most pollution too, because very crowded most population. Uh, I think.
Okay. Good. Yeah, China's a good choice, definitely. I'm very close to China right now, and it's the first place I think of too. And Hassan, what country do you think has the least pollution? Or what countries?
Uh, uh, I have not been live or visit any country. So I think Turkey is least pollution country.
Okay. Hassan says Turkey is the least, and Zainab says Turkey is the most. Interesting here. Okay. Hurshit, you're late. What's going on?
Yeah, I think this is first since our course, I think.
Yeah, I was
I am
worried.
sorry for my late. Yeah, I have just come my home and only this time I can connect with you.
Oh, of course, no problem. I'm just joking. Hurshit, you're always here. Number one, on time.
Yeah.
Hurshit and Yildiray have come to every class so far. So,
Yeah.
Hurshit, I was asking, which
Yeah.
country or which countries do you think cause the most pollution in the world?
Most pollution. Actually, I can only guess our country. I know that Istanbul pollution is bad because there are a factory area, especially near the city Izmit. And, this factory isn't good working for pollution. And there are some area in my country who produce fossil. And I know a city which name is Zonguldak. Zonguldak has got a very bad weather condition. Because yeah, I think that is okay. And I don't know how the country is good or bad. I only know that about my country because I don't. I haven't been in another country, foreign country, so I don't know. And I haven't heard any news about this topic in television or in newspaper.
Okay. So, you can't tell me which countries you think are maybe producing less pollution. Which are the good ones?
Actually, I don't any idea for this topic.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Hurshit. I'm gonna teach you guys a word, because Zainab and I guess Hurshit, you're talking about Turkey being one of the worst countries for pollution. But Turkey, you only have 70 million people, and China has 1 billion people. So I think you mean like for each person, it's bad, right? Like if one person in China makes 1 kilogram of pollution, and one person in Turkey makes 2 kilograms of pollution, then Turkey, for each person, it's worse, but it's still much less pollution for the whole country. So we can say per capita means for each person, like this. So you could say a small country has more pollution per capita than a big country for each person. Yeah. This is from Latin, capitos or something. It means for each head. But yeah, per capita means for each person. So we can talk about that. Okay. Now, Zainab, what are some things that individual people can do to help the environment? What are some things that we could be doing?
What can we can protect our forests. We can how can I say? We can use public taking a
Transportation.
bus and go with that, and using much less car will be helpful air pollution. We can stop using deodorants or perfumes. We can't stop, but we can make it low. We
Reduce.
can use less.
Yeah.
I mean, we can. What can we do? Some fabric make pollution in air, in sea. I mean, they make some dirties there. We can try to stop that. I can't talk.
Okay.
That.
Awesome. Great. Very good. Very good, Zainab. You got most of them, I think. Exactly. Yeah, taking the bus, taking the metro like this instead of a car, that's public transportation.
Yeah, yes, I forget that word.
Yeah.
I was trying to say that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that's the word you were looking for, public transportation. Okay, very good. So Zainab talked about things we can do, each person can do, you or me. Yildiray, what are some things that the government can do to help the environment?
I think the government educate people against air pollution and protect the nature. Also, also ban the industry who produce air pollution industry and use petroleum. Also, encouragements public transportation people. Also, big city. For example, in Turkey, Ankara and Istanbul. Maybe encouraging. Also, the governments grow plants area in the middle of the city for bread city and people. Maybe ban parfum. Also very much using parfum.
Okay.
Only these words combined.
Awesome, great, very good, Yildiray. Thank you. Yeah, and things like the perfume that you spray in the can, psst, or like the
Yes.
insect spray. All of these ones, these are called aerosols. Aerosol, the ones that hurt the environment. Great. Yeah, and Yildiray and Zainab, you were both talking about that. Very good. Okay, so Hassan, Zainab told us what one person can do, and Yildiray was talking about what the government can do. What are some things that companies can do to help the environment?
Companies. I think there are a lot of things about this topic, but I can't say it about it.
Or you can't think of any?
No.
Okay, what
I
about the
can-
government? Can you think of some other things the government should do to help the environment?
Maybe government accept the problem. Later, government can try solution this problem. Maybe renewable energy source can spread this country. My country, my government still encourage renewable energy source, but maybe this is spreads.
Okay, great. Thank you, Hassan. All right, Harshit, can you think of anything companies could do to help the environment?
Companies.
Yeah.
In big companies, we know that they has got some activities for green nature, and they always is being that for social activity for nature, and they always do with their money, and they contribute for green nature by buying their money, and I think a big company is responsible of pollution and the other natural activity, and I think they should uh, protect their factory condition. And I think I only this in thinking.
Okay, awesome. Very good, Harshit.
Jory, can I add something?
Yeah, for sure.
We were using coal for heating at winter and heating our homes before 50 or 20 years before in Turkey. So World Health Organization list Turkey top of the list, I think. And then the governments come to natural gas and buy the other kind of natural gas. And then we now we are using natural gas for heating. So air pollution decreaser then passed, I think, most laser passed.
Okay, awesome. Very good. So that's one thing the government has already done to help the environment, right? Very good. Okay, here's a question. Does anyone know what a nectarine is? It's a type of fruit, nectarine. I think that they are very famous from Malatya in Turkey.
Kayısı.
Apricot.
Oh, it's
Nectar.
apricots. Okay, sorry, apricots. Okay, so yeah, the fruit from Malatya is, Hassan is right, it's apricots. Okay, so if you could eat an apricot or a pineapple, is one of them better for the environment? What do you guys think?
Oh, I think I know. If
Yeah.
we eat apricot and take it's a gas, I think, but the middle part of it, and we bury it and take care of it, it will grow with tree. I heard like that. It can be helpful about our environment. I heard like that, but I don't know if it's true.
Okay, okay, good. Yeah, it's true. That's the seed in the middle. Exactly. Okay, so Zainab saying maybe it's better for the environment to eat the apricot because you can grow a tree. What do you guys think? Does anyone have a different idea? No? Okay, I'll tell you why I asked. Hurshit, do you grow pineapples in Turkey?
Pineapple?
Yeah.
Pineapple. What's my pine? I don't know.
You don't know
What's pine?
pineapple? I think it's like ananas. Zainab, do you know
Yes,
pineapple? Ananas, yeah.
Yes, I know. Ananas.
It is same with ananas, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the name in Turkish. In English, it's pineapple.
Pineapple. Yeah, I know this, and I have eaten before.
Okay. Yeah, and does it grow in Turkey?
Ananas, I think pineapple. Actually, I don't know very well about this, but I guess this is produced some part of south place in my country, especially White Lake, White Sea.
Okay, so you think you have them in Turkey? They grow in Turkey.
Yeah.
Because yeah, the other thing is the food we eat. If you eat something like the apricots that come from very close, they don't drive them as far in the cars, right? If you eat like pineapples or bananas that are very tropical fruits, they have to move them a long way, many kilometers, and so they burn lots of gasoline to move the fruits. So yeah, there's some companies in Canada, and they will only sell food that's moved less than 300 kilometers, for example. This is one thing companies in Canada are doing to protect the environment. They will only sell things that are from close, that don't have to be moved so far. Like this. That was what I was asking about. Because I think pineapples are from much warmer countries usually. Okay, never mind. Oh yeah, my next question, I'll start with, let's see, do I go? Okay, Hassan, do you know what overpopulation is? Overpopulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overpopulation. There is overpopulation in Istanbul.
Good. Do you think this is a major problem for the environment?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
I give an example. Most population country. I give China.
Right. So how is overpopulation? Why is overpopulation a problem?
As if our population eats environment. Very harmful.
Okay, good. Yeah, it destroys the environment
Maybe.
around, right? Okay,
Yes.
good. Thank you, Hassan. Zainab, can you think of any other reasons overpopulation can be an environmental problem?
The more people make, the more pollution, and it will give harm environment. Like China, they're, like you said, the most population. They have got the most population. I don't know. I think it's like that, and they've got a lot more pollution than other countries. That's I could think.
Okay, good. More people, there's more pollution. Exactly. So some countries have laws that control how many children people can have. Have you heard of this?
In China, I heard that.
China and India too has this. Do you think this is a good way to control overpopulation? Is this a good answer to the problem? What do you think, Zainab?
Oh. No and yes. It's no, because I think people should can make what I think people shouldn't be how can I say forbade doing 2 children. They can, I think, in my opinion, they can be able to make a lot of babies if they want. Yes, because if they don't stop our population, it is already giving harm in our environment, but it will become worse.
Good. Okay, thank you. Yildiray, what do you think? Do you think these laws are a good way to fight overpopulation?
I don't understand. Can you repeat?
Okay, like in China, there's a law. You can only have 1 baby. So you can't have 2 children. You can only have 1 child.
I think maybe useful the growing overpopulation for governments. But I think only people control their generation or child number, I think. But we are thinking air pollution and other problems, country problems. The government's control is true, I think.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Yildiray. Hershit, what do you think? Are these laws good or bad?
I think, firstly, I think it is good, but then I think it is bad. And I think it depends on for countries condition. In my country, my president always said, always say their citizen, you should have got 3 children at least. And I think populations combination is sometimes is good for their policy, because we know that in Europe their population is now aged population for before has got their population. And now in Europe we also know that there are no workers for working in factory, and we know that also that there are there are in very a lot of people for pension time. And I think this is not good for economically for Europe. But in Turkey, there are very teen people, I think. So economically, we employ their children and their teenagers in working, and this is good, I think. But we know that natural sources is very limited for every country, and I think we can also do that. We protect our people to their next two times for economically, and I am in thinking that sometime overpopulation is not good for this reason.
Okay, good. Thank you, Hershit. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're talking about many people retiring in Europe and
Yeah.
North America too. After
I hope so. Is it true?
Yeah, it's true in Canada too. After World War II, there was many babies born, like 1950s, right? The end of 1940s, 1950s, many babies right after the war finished. and these are called baby boomers. So if you ever hear these words, baby boomers, it's people that age. My father is that age. So yeah, there's a lot of people born at this time, and they're kind of moving up. They're all retiring now, and there was fewer people before them and fewer people after them. That generation is really big, and we call it the baby boom. They're baby boomers. So yeah, that is something happening in our society. Good.
Usually, why European people want a few children?
To have fewer children?
Yes,
Let's see.
one or two you have.
Yeah, there is. You see, usually countries with more money, like the first world countries, are in countries like India, where people are very poor. They want to have like 11 or 12 children, usually have like many children, because the parents think that when they get old, their children will be the ones who will help them, who will take care of them, who will give them food and everything. So people are scared of being old, and nobody is there to help them. And usually in countries that have where people have more money and they can prepare for their retirement, people aren't scared about this. They usually have fewer children. They're not scared. They don't need their children to help them when they're old. So they think, okay, one child or two children, that's okay for me. I don't need more than that. It's too much work. 6 children is too much work. I'm already working at my job all day. I don't need to have 6 children
It's
too.
the same.
Yeah, I think that's how people think about that. That's my guess. But this is a good question, Yildiray. Does anybody have a different idea? Does anybody think maybe it's something else? No. Okay. We'll say that's the answer then. All right. Okay, I'll have one last question for you guys for now. What are some kinds of technology that can help stop environmental problems? What are some ways technology can help the environment? What are some technologies that help the environment? Harshit.
Yeah. And actually, I am sorry. I am in thinking that for about it. Some people in the world use the technology for bad things, but other people use the technology for good things, and so it is using for good or bad things. And I think sometimes the technology can protect our environment for doing better things, but on the other hand, the technology is caused to bad things for natural environment, I think. For example, the technology produced nuclear weapon. If the nuclear weapon or nuclear things is used in a war, I think the world is very bad condition for healthy and safety and the other bad things. But we in same time people produce for environment by using technology very much for doing good thing. For example, for energy chargers, there are good things for protect the weather or benefit from especially solar energy sources and for doing renewable energy system. I think such these things is good for nature or environment.
Awesome. Great. Thank you,
Now,
Hurshid.
yeah.
Very good. Yeah. Zainab, can you think of some more technologies that help the environment?
Actually, no. I can't think anything about it.
No? Okay, maybe I'll give you another try after. Hassan, can you think of any technology that helps the environment or that stops problems in the environment? Okay, Hassan, I can't hear you again. Okay. I can't hear Hassan. Yildiray, how about you?
Jory, we are using car on classical motors at now and pollute the air so much. At now, engineer work on develop electrical car. Maybe we use in the future electric car and decrease the air pollution, I think. Also, at now for my work, we are using electronic correspondence and we decrease paper usage. So maybe forest cutting decreased. We are thinking fast. So we protect nature.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly.
I think. Only.
Yeah, very good. Two good examples from Yildiray. The more they're using electronic communication, they're using less paper. Exactly.
Yeah.
And electric cars are a good example. I think for electric cars, you only help the environment. It depends how you get the electricity, right? If the electricity comes from burning fossil fuels or burning coal, also, I wonder, are electric cars so helpful for the environment sometimes? But if you get your electricity from solar power or wind power,
Yes.
then they're much better. Exactly.
Renewable energy.
Yeah. Very good. Zainab, did you think of anything?
I heard somewhere in some country made a road. It's worked by a solar system. When cars goes, it make if the sun is on the top car can go without using petroleum or other gas. A car can go with solar energy. I heard like something like that. It can be helpful about environment. That's it, I think.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Zeynep. Yeah, I don't know if they have these in Turkey, but in Canada, sometimes they put, a sign on the side of the road. The big sign, it says the lights flash. It says please slow down, or we're fixing the road here. Go a different way, or something like this. These signs, and on top of the sign, there's a solar power, and that sign gets all its electricity from the sun. So this little solar power, these signs are running themselves. We have lots of little things the government's put places with the solar panel on top, and they're just charging themselves like that. But yeah, cool. This solar powered cars, that's a great example. Thank you, Zeynep. Okay, guys. Our next conversation is called New School Year. So let's take a look at that one for a couple of minutes.
Mhm.
Okay.
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 New school year. So how about Yildira, you can start as Joe, and Harshit, you can be Richard.
Mhm.
So Yildira, you can start.
Okay. 1 minute here. How is the new school year going? I know you just started up again.
Oh yeah, it's off to a rough start.
Really?
Yeah.
Why so?
We have a new reading program. It's called Readers Workshop, and a new math program. Everyday math, so a lot of prep work. Yesterday I was at school from about 9 until 2.
Gosh,
Yeah, getting stuff ready. There is just a lot of preparation for launching the math program.
it sounds like you're probably starting from scratch because
It is.
you're used to teaching the
Yeah.
same methodologies before.
Good. Same methodologies. Huge word. Methodologies. Good. So Joe starts. How's the new school year going? I know you just started it up again. What does Joe mean here? I know you just started it up again. Yildira?
I think he stopped the school and began.
Perfect.
The new job started up began.
Good, exactly.
Education.
Yeah, it's like it's after the summer break, probably. The school year starts in September in Canada. Is it when does the school year start in Turkey, Zeynep? Is it September?
September, same.
September. Yeah, okay. Good. So it's probably September now. Exactly. Yildiray? And then Richard says, yeah, it's off to a rough start. So Harshit, what is rough? Do you know what this word means? R-O-U-G-H, rough.
I think difficult,
Good. Yeah, rough.
tough. I think.
Tough. You were saying that on Monday, didn't you? Said rough, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rough is the opposite of smooth also, and it can mean hard or difficult. Exactly. So what does Joe mean it's off to a rough start? Harshit?
Sorry, can you again?
What does Richard mean it's off to a rough start? What does that mean? Off to
None.
I think he tried to say that it is very hard.
very hard to start. Yeah, yeah. Or it didn't start well.
Especially before free time. I think.
Sorry?
Especially it is hard after a very free time.
Good. Yeah, yeah, kind of. Usually it's more like it started poorly. It started bad. Like I had problems at the start. That's usually what we mean when we say off to a rough start. Okay, I just started working and they didn't give me the right books, and all my students, I'll have one set of books and I have the wrong books that I'm trying to teach with, and they told me my schedule was this and it was actually these days, and I have problems at the start. It's not starting good. Yeah. And usually when you see rough or smooth, smooth means things are going well. Like things are going smoothly. Everything is working nicely. There's no problems. When we talk about rough or bumpy, there's problems. When you see these words in idioms, if things are rough or things are bumpy, I'm having problems. It's not going nicely. Good. Then Joe says, really? Richard says, yeah. Joe says, why so? So why did it start badly? What happened? And Richard continues, we have a new reading program. It's called Reader's Workshop, and a new math program, Everyday Math. So a lot of prep work. Yesterday I was at school from about 9 until 2. Okay. Zainab, why is the R big and the W big in Reader's Workshop?
Because it's a special name.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Proper noun. So it's a name. Exactly. And everyday math is also the same, a name. And Zainab, what does this mean? Prep work. What is prep?
Maybe after school work, when school finished, he had to stay and do something about working.
Okay, that's a good
Maybe.
guess. I would say it's a little bit different than that. Does anyone else want to try? Yildiray, do you know what prep means?
I think prep, short of preparation, like briefing.
Yeah, it's
Preparation.
short. It's short for
Short name.
preparation.
Yes, short name.
Yeah, prepare. Preparation means to prepare. That means to get ready, right? So Richard here. Actually, who can tell me what is Richard's job? Zainab?
He's a teacher.
Yeah, exactly. How do you know?
I read.
Oh, you read the
For
whole
the class.
conversation?
Yes, so I knew it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Joe is asking Richard here about the new school year. And yeah, so Richard is talking about the reading program and the math program, and he has to do prep work. Yeah. Anyways, you're right. You're right, Zainab. Richard is a teacher, and so he has to do preparing work. Prepare means get ready, right? So before class, he has to get everything ready. He has to have his material that he's going to teach. Yeah. It's a big part of this job. Make sure everything is ready before the class. So yesterday I was at school from about 9 until 2. So 9 in the morning until 2 p.m. And Joe says, gosh. What does gosh mean? Harshit?
God.
God, exactly, yeah. A nice way of saying that, right? Richard, yeah, getting stuff ready. There's a lot of preparation for launching the math program. Okay. So preparation, prep is short for this word right here, preparation, getting ready. So he has to do a lot of preparation for launching. Harshit, what is that, launching the math program?
Launching the math program. I think launching is using that nearly catching.
Sorry?
Catching.
Catching?
Yeah.
Like catch a ball?
Sorry. Reaching.
Reaching the math
Yeah.
program. Okay. Here launching, it means starting.
Starting means beginning.
Start.
Yeah. Yeah, if I launch, I start something. It's a little bit confusing. Usually launch can also mean like making something fly. Like we usually use the word launch for rocket ships. You know, like Apollo 13 rocket ship. When that shoots into the air, that's called the launch. So yeah, if I have if I throw something, I launch it into the air. I make it start flying in the air. That's what launch can mean. And here it's kind of like the rocket ships again. You know, you count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. So it's like when it starts, the launch. Launch time is when it starts. So basically, yeah, launch can mean shooting into the air, or it can mean starting here. Okay. So preparing for the launch, the math program. Joe, yeah, it sounds like you're probably starting from scratch because it is. Okay. What does this mean, starting from scratch? What do you think, Zainab?
Starting from beginning, at the beginning, I think. So I guess
Good.
maybe.
Yeah, starting at the beginning, exactly. Could you give me an example?
For example, me. I have to study my lesson, but I don't know nothing, so I have to study at the beginning of the topic, maybe.
Okay, good. Yeah. Great. We talk also about cooking from scratch. I think, yeah, from scratch means exactly like Zainab's saying, from the very beginning, nothing to start with. So if we say I'm cooking from scratch, you know, maybe I could buy something like, or let's say, what do you have? Oh, let's say salsa. Okay, I go to the store and I buy salsa. If I'm going from scratch, I buy the peppers and I buy the tomatoes and I cut them up and I even make the salsa. I make everything in my food. So I start from the very beginning. That's like starting from scratch. If I buy a box and I can make a cake from this box, I have the things in there. I just put in my eggs. That's not from scratch. From scratch, I put in the sugar, I put in the chocolate, I put in everything. Yeah, exactly. So Zainab was right. Richard says it is. Joe, you're used to teaching the Richard, yeah, same methodologies before. Yildiray, what do you think this big word means here, methodologies?
Methodologies. When doing something, the way of how do you do? I think.
Good, yeah, exactly. My method is how I do something.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, like for example, my teaching method in class is all speaking. We're just speaking, right? I don't make you guys write sentences at home. I don't make you read anything. I don't say read this book for tomorrow. So my teaching method in this class, it's only speaking. Okay? Methodology is like philosophy. Is philosophy the same or close in Turkish? Zeynep, philosophy?
Falsafa, I think, and it's not the same.
Oh, it's not the same?
Maybe it's not the same, I think.
Philosophy, like how I think.
Yeah, it's
my
not same, but I know it.
Okay. Yeah, so this ology on the end, OLGIES, ology, that's about how you think, your belief. So if I say, okay, my teaching method is only speaking, but it's my methodology because I think it's the most important skill. I think we need to focus on speaking more than the other skills because it's what you're going to be using it the most if you're traveling and if you're doing it in business and you need to talk to other clients. If I give you many reasons, I explain to you why I think this is the best way, that's a methodology because I believe in this method. I have my philosophy about my method. Okay, and that's where we stopped.
Okay.
So why don't we take a break now? Take a break for 10 minutes?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jory, sorry.
Yeah.
I won't be in class, half part of the other class. Sorry.
You won't be here for the next half?
Yes.
Okay, no
See
problem.
you later. Good evening, friends.
Good evening.
Good
You'll be
evening.
right.
Good evening.
See you. Okay. Khurshid and Zainab are back. Good, good, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Khurshid, do you remember at the end of our last conversation, ticket on the train conversation?
Yeah.
At the end of this conversation,
Mhm.
they were saying how they could go to the court to fight the ticket, but they would have to spend all day fighting the ticket, and it was a waste of time. Do you remember this?
Actually, I don't remember very well.
Okay.
If you want me to, I can look this.
No. It's fine. What I was in Canada, when you're given a ticket, even a small ticket like this, for she couldn't show that she paid to ride the train. She didn't pay to ride the train, so she got a ticket, right? Or if I'm driving too fast in my car, or anything like this, any small ticket, I can go to court and I can fight that ticket. I can try and show the judge that I didn't do it and I shouldn't get this ticket. In Canada, it's like this. Is it the same as that in Turkey? Hershit, do you know?
Actually, I don't understand very well, Jury.
No? Okay. Zainab, do you understand the question?
Yes, I understood, and I read that conversation too, but I don't know. I have no idea about that.
You don't know about that? Okay. Hershit, do you have a car?
Yeah, I have a car.
Okay. If you drive your car too fast, you get a ticket, right?
If you
If you drive your car too fast,
yeah.
you get a ticket. The police catch you, the police stop you, they give you a ticket.
Yeah, sometimes police can catch me when I am very fast.
Good. Can you fight the ticket?
Can you fight the ticket?
Yeah. Can you go and see a judge and say, I don't want to pay for this ticket? It's not true?
Yeah, the police can implement a punish for buying a match.
Okay. And can you try and fight against the punishment? If they say you have to pay 100 liras, that's the end? You can't fight that?
In Turkey, the punishment on driving fastly, there are no second punish. And if you do another if you Jury, actually I don't understand you.
Okay, it's no problem. Don't worry.
And sorry, when I was in last lesson, I was no good, and I didn't understand the train conservation truly.
Oh, you didn't understand it too much? Okay.
Yeah,
Do you know what a judge is? Judge?
judge law.
Yeah, law judge.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get your ticket. You were driving your car too fast, right? You drive your car too fast. The policeman gives you a ticket. Okay, the policeman
Yeah,
says
yeah.
you have to pay 100 liras. That's your ticket.
Yeah, I know.
If
This
you,
is same in Turkey.
yeah, maybe you think it's not true. I wasn't driving too fast. The policeman is wrong. You can see a judge
Yeah,
and you can say,
yeah.
this ticket is not true. I don't want to pay this ticket.
Yeah. In my country, in our law, we have got applying for my objection or opposition. And I have we have opportunity for opposition, and
Okay.
we can apply a department in
Okay.
judge.
So did you ever fight your ticket like this? Did you ever go and see a judge because you got a ticket?
Actually, I don't always drive very fast, and I haven't been got any punishment on my driving, and I have no punishment on for traffic rulers.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
But I know that if the police implement for fasting for driving very fastly, we can apply for our objection.
Good. Good. Okay. Yeah. One time in Canada, I was driving my car, and the police officer stops me. The police car comes behind me, and I have to stop. And the police officer comes, and I say, yes. What's the problem? And he says, oh, you don't have your seatbelt on. You were not wearing your seatbelt before. And I'm so confused because I'm wearing my seatbelt. He can see me that I'm wearing my seatbelt. I was wearing my seatbelt this whole time. And he gives me a ticket. He says, you're not wearing your seatbelt, here's a ticket. But I'm wearing my seatbelt, so I shouldn't get a ticket. So I'm very angry. And I go to the judge to fight this. I have to wait 1 month, and then I can go to the judge and I can say this is not true. The police officer was wrong. I was wearing my seatbelt. So yeah, I go to the judge. I spend 1 day. I can't go to work that day. I have to sit there, wait for the judge all day, and I get to stand in front of the judge for 5 minutes. For 5 minutes, I say, it's not true. I was wearing my seatbelt. The police officer's wrong, and the judge says, no, you still have to pay. So I lose all day. I waste all my time, and I still have to pay for this ticket, which I didn't do. It made me very angry. And this is what they were talking about in the conversation. Kristen can try and go to the judge and try and fight against this ticket, but it's probably nothing will happen. Yeah.
And I can say something for
Yeah.
this conversation. In Turkey, if the police want to implement somebody to a punishment for driving very fastly, in Turkey there is a one tradition for driver. It is that it is that okay, how I explain, yeah, before starting driving on the road, some people in Turkey always put their car license, put their money into their license, car license, some money.
Right.
And if the police want your car license for checking it, and when as soon as the police open the car license, he always look some money for bribery.
Right.
Police want he or she give your money into your car license. I think this is very bad, but in Turkey this is a real tradition on the road, and you don't need to for punishment. And we don't know about for punishment.
Right. In Canada, my father told me when he was younger, you could do that. You could still bribe the police officers like this. But today in Canada, if you do that, you'll get 2 tickets. You get 1 ticket because you were driving too fast, and 1 ticket because you're bribing the police officer. And the second
but
ticket's very big.
But in Turkey, if you don't this, when the police punishing you on the road, the police find in your car another punishment, and he check your car very carefully for implementing another punishment.
Right. Right, of course. Okay, interesting. Thank you, Hurshit. I'm glad I didn't drive a car in Turkey. Maybe too much trouble for me. Hassan, what about you? Did you ever get a ticket before?
Yeah. I take ticket for red light. No, red light. Can you hear me?
For what? Sorry, say it one more time.
Red lamp. Red lamp.
You drove through the red light.
Don't stop. You can't stop for red lamp. And wrong place stop. I can stop sometimes. I can stop wrong place.
Right. Okay, cool. And did you ever try to fight this ticket? Did you ever go to the judge to fight the ticket?
One ticket?
Did you fight the ticket? Did you go to the judge?
My laptop microphone jack is work. My very old. I can I use the laptop. So sometimes I can not hear
I see. Okay, no problem. Thank you, Hassan. Yeah, I can hear you now, but it's a little bit choppy still. Okay, let's go back to the conversation now. And
Okay.
I'll have maybe Zainab, you can be Richard, and Harshit, you can be Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start with Richard.
Right. So the last math series that we had for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it was like easy to teach. I didn't need to do any prep stuff for it.
Right.
I knew what I was going to do from day to day. And now tomorrow is Monday and we are launching the program. So it's lesson 1 and I don't know what I am doing.
If it is not enough to keep your eyes on the kids the whole time now,
Exactly.
you got to also be wondering, am I delivering this new methodology correctly?
Good.
Right.
Yeah, let's stop there for a second. Okay. So Richard says, right. So the last math series we had for 4 years. What do you think this means, math series? The last math series we had. What is the math series? Zainab?
No, I don't. I have no idea about this time.
No idea. Yeah, this one's tricky. Harshit, do you have a guess?
No, I don't. Any guess.
Okay, yeah, this one is tricky. So a series, in order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a series, right? And it's a math series. So it's probably the books, the math textbooks that he's teaching with. So like grade 1 book, grade 2 book, grade 3 book, grade 4 book, they're in an order.
Okay.
One company is making all the books, and he knows how to teach these books really good. He's been teaching these books for 4 years. So the way the book is all put together, it's very easy for him. So it's a series. The same company makes the grade 7 book, the grade 8 book, the grade 9 book, like this. Okay, yeah, so that one was a little bit tricky. Joe says, Richard says, and so, it was like easy to teach. I didn't need to do any prep stuff for it, Right. I knew what I was going to do from day to day. What does Richard mean? What does Richard mean? I knew what I was going to do from day to day. But Harshit, what does he mean? From day to day.
I think he tried to explain that with using these math series, they were teached very well.
Okay, good. Zainab, what do you think he means here, this day to day?
I think he had a program that he already knew that what he will do on Monday, or another days, maybe.
Good, yeah, kind of. I think because I'm teaching, it's easy for me to understand this. Maybe I have a book that's very difficult for me to teach with, right? My book is not very good. So I need to do lots of preparation. I need to get many things ready for this class because my book is not very good. So I have to think about what information to use and stuff like this. But if my book is very good, it's very easy for me to teach. Then he says here, I didn't need to do any prep stuff for it. So he doesn't need to get many things ready. You know, I wake up, today is Monday, and I go in and I'm ready. I know what I need to do today, Monday. I don't have to look at my plans. I just look at the book, I'm ready to go. And then tomorrow I'm ready to start again. Each day I know what I'll do for that day. I don't have a big plan for many, many days. Just one day, each day at a time. Okay. Joe says, Richard says, and now tomorrow's Monday and we're launching the program. So it's lesson 1 and I don't know what I'm doing. So this new system's very difficult. It starts tomorrow and he hasn't prepared something. He doesn't know what he should teach. Okay, Joe, if it's not enough to keep your eyes on the kids the whole time now, exactly. You got to also be wondering, oh, you know, am I delivering this new methodology correctly? Okay, what does this mean? Keep your eyes on something. How about Zainab?
If he doesn't control the whole class, he won't be able to control the class and teach them maths, maybe.
Okay, yeah, no, that's good. That's what they're saying here. I was gonna ask about that exactly. But just this, keep your eyes on something. What does that mean? How about Hurshit?
I think focus on the students carefully.
Perfect,
And,
exactly.
And looking at students carefully for wondering that if they are listening and understanding you or not.
Good, very good, yeah. Keep your eyes on, it's like watching something. We have an idiom in English, keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on the prize. And that means, Zainab, do you know what it means?
No, but I can guess, but I prefer listening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means I'm always thinking about my goal. Okay, so maybe I need to work for 6 months so I can get enough money so I can go on a vacation. I want to go on a trip to, I don't know, France. Okay, I need to work for 6 months so I can pay for my trip to France. So every day when I'm working, I'm just focusing. I'm thinking about my trip. I'm just working really hard and thinking about, so I can go on I need to do this so I can go on my trip. I'm always thinking about what I want to get, my prize at the end, my goal. That's what that means. Keep your eyes on the prize. Focus on your goal. Yeah. So yeah, Joe says, if it's not enough to keep your eyes on the kids the whole time now, you got to also be wondering, oh, you know, am I delivering this new methodology correctly? Okay, so Joe is saying, like, as a teacher, it's not, you can't just go in the classroom and watch the kids and tell them the information. Yeah. You can't just come in and say, 2 + 2 is 4, 3 + 3 is 6, 4 + 4 is 8. Okay, your test is tomorrow. No, you have to make sure that you're teaching them in a good method, a good way for them to remember. So yeah, just doing just watching the kids, just giving the information, that's not enough. That's not good enough. You need to make sure that you have a good method too. You're doing the method correctly. Okay. Hassan, are you there? Okay. Maybe I'll just have you two read. Harshit, why don't you be Richard this time, and
Okay.
Zainab, you can be Joe.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Because I want to teach it as so I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I don't want to come across as I am stumbling for my words or stumbling for what comes next. So
Have the kids been into it so far?
so far, yeah. Right now we have just been doing a lot of exploration. So there is a lot of math tools that we just give them time to play around with, so that when we actually teach the lesson, they are focused on what we are doing and not focused on. You know that they have counting beers in front of them or coins in front of them.
Right.
So they just need a lot of time to play around with the tools. We call them tools. I mean they think of them as toys. But
Games.
Good. Okay. How old do you think Richard's students are? What do you think? Hassan? Can you hear me? No? Okay, how about Harshit? How old do you think Richard's students are?
actually, I don't understand from the speech.
From this?
I have
Okay.
no opinion.
What about Zainab?
I'm not sure, but it may be elementary school, maybe playing bears and thinking that choice. It might be elementary or kindergarten, but I don't think it's kindergarten. I'll go with elementary school.
Very good guess. Exactly. Yeah. Zainab looked at the clues here, and I think that's a great guess. Yeah. They're very small, probably like maybe 5 or 6 years old, right? Very young kids, because they can't focus. They want to play with the coins and the bears and things. Good. Okay. Let's go up to the top. Right, because I want to teach it as though I know what I'm doing. Okay. So Richard's concerned. He wants to teach. He wants to look professional when he's teaching. He's worried that he hasn't prepared enough, so he won't seem professional. He will seem like he doesn't know what he's doing very well. Okay. Joe says, yeah, and Richard says, so I don't want to come across as blah, blah, blah. I don't want to come across as. What do you think this means? Hassan, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think Richard means? I don't want to come across as. What does come across as?
Duyabiliyorum ama konuşamıyorum.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Duyabiliyor musunuz? Can you hear me?
Evet.
Yep.
Evet.
Yeah.
But I don't understand you. Repeat for me.
Okay, Richard says, so I don't want to come across as I'm stumbling for. What does this mean? Come across as.
I don't know.
Don't know? Okay. It's difficult, definitely. Zainab, do you have a guess?
No, I don't have a guess.
No.
I don't know.
Harshit?
Yeah, I know. Firstly, it is same with run across. Maybe when you walking on the road, you can see a people who you know. But in this sentence, she tried to explain that he he want to he don't want to be that he is a he is in bed.
Okay. Kind of. The meaning is a little bit different. Come across is like appear or seem.
See.
It's someone's opinion of you. Okay. So maybe this is the first. Let's say this is the first time I meet you. You never met me before. We meet for the first time. And today I'm very angry. I'm in a bad mood. Today's a very bad day for me. I'm so angry. And after you meet me, I come across as a mean person. Okay? Today's a very bad day for me. I'm very angry. Everything I say is many angry things. You think I'm a mean person. I look like a mean person to you. Or the first time I meet you, I'm very happy. I'm saying lots of nice things. You know, yay, yay, hooray, it's a good day. Then I come across as a nice person. You think I'm a nice person. Okay. So how do I come across? What do you think about me? How do I seem? What is your opinion of me? Okay. So Richard doesn't want to come across as if he's stumbling, as if he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't want the children to think that he doesn't know what he's doing, that he's not professional, that he's not a good teacher. Okay, he doesn't want that opinion. Okay, do we know what stumbling is? No? No? Hassan, kind of.
Fall. Maybe fall.
Good, yeah, when I stumble, I almost fall. Exactly. I'm almost falling down. Whoa, 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 just stumble. Yeah. And here he means he's stumbling with his words. His words are not coming out smooth. Like, okay, I can say it nicely. All right, everybody, let's please open our books to page 52. And let's look at this picture. Okay, no problem. If he's stumbling with his words, okay, why don't let's get let's take our books. Okay, let's get our books out and let's open to 52. You know, he can't say things nicely. It's bouncing and bouncing, and his brain is not working quickly, and the words aren't coming out nicely. This would be like stumbling with your words. Okay. And stumbling for what comes next. So he is he's saying so many things and he can't think, what is the next thing I need to do? He can't remember what is the next thing. He's stumbling for what comes next. Let's get our books. Oh, I couldn't think of it. It's like this, okay? Okay, have the kids been into it so far? What does Joe mean? Have the kids been into it? Into it. Stumbling. How about Hershit? You're into something. Into it.
Joe asked for and he wonder about that the kids if the kids attend this program.
Okay, that makes sense. Here he doesn't mean into like actually involved, enrolled, participating. He means into like interested. So have the kids been interested? Are they having fun? Do they like it? Yeah, if I'm into something, I'm interested in that. In this case, it could be how you said it, Hershit, but in this sentence it means interested. Okay. Richard says, so far, yeah. So until now, they are interested. They're enjoying the class. Right now, we've just been doing a lot of exploration. Okay, so what he means here is in the first part of the class, the kids have, it hasn't been a formal lesson. Okay, it hasn't been 2 + 2 is 4. Okay, 3 + 2 is 5. Not formal. I'm not giving you information you need to learn. They're letting the kids play with the toys and learn some information, learn what they learn from playing, from exploring, from looking at things. Okay? So it's very informal. Okay. So there's a lot of math tools. We just give them time to play around with, so that when we actually teach the lesson, they're focused. Okay, so they're giving these kids special toys, and the toys are supposed to help the kids learn math by playing with the toys. Okay, so you see like, oh, I put some blocks here, I put some blocks here, this plus this. They're learning a little bit by playing with the toys. That's the exploration. Yeah, and they want the kids to play with the toys so that when they're actually teaching, the kids can focus on the lesson. The kids can concentrate. They don't have a new toy in front of them, a toy they didn't see before that's very exciting. It's something they played with for a long time, so it's a little bit more boring now. They can listen to the teacher. They don't have to be as distracted by the toys. That's what Richard is saying. They're focused on what we're doing and not focused on, that they have counting bears in front of them or coins in front of them. Okay? So Richard's idea is I let the kids play with the toys now, give them lots of time to play with the toys, so then they don't have to, they can focus on me when I'm teaching. They can focus on me when I'm talking. They don't only focus on the toys anymore because I gave them enough time. That's what Richard is saying. Does this make sense now, Hershit? Do you understand?
Sorry, actually, I missed you.
This part you don't understand? Okay. So Richard is teaching them with toys, right? He says counting bears or coins. Mm-hmm. So they have coins. They can learn, 5 + 10 is 15, or I have 10 of these coins makes 1 of these coins. Maybe they're learning math with coins, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. So he wants the kids to play with the coins to learn some things just by playing with them. But he also wants the kids to, if they play with the coins for enough time, mm-hmm. then the coins aren't so exciting when he wants to teach. He can teach them the lesson, and the kids can have the coins and they aren't distracted. They aren't only wanting to play with the coins because they've had enough time with the coins. They're okay. They can listen on me. They can focus to what I'm saying, and they don't have to only focus on the toys they have. Yeah. So he wants to give them enough time with the toys that they can have the toys here, but they can still listen to the lesson. The toys aren't so new and exciting that the kids can't focus. Does that make sense? Hershit, it's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Joe says, right. Richard says, so they just need a lot of time to play around with the tools. We call them tools. I mean, they think of them as toys, but they're games. Okay, yeah. So a tool is something that helps you do work, and a toy is something just for fun. So Richard is saying that the teachers call them tools because they're helping them teach. They're helping the children learn. But to the children, they're toys. They're just for fun. The children, it's like we're tricking the children. The children don't know that we're teaching them. They think they're playing a game. Okay, so that's why they're separating tools and toys. And Joe says they're games. So that's another word we could use. Okay, good. And I think that's where we were. So whose turn is it to be Richard? I think it's actually Hershit. I think sorry, Hassan. I think you're good now. Why don't you read as Richard? And Zainab, you can read as Joe.
Exactly. So, but they need that, it's the same. It's like an ebook. I just give them the time to page through it. Otherwise, if I am on page 2, they are on page 200, looking at something completely not related to what I am teaching. So,
Right, yeah.
but it's the same with me when I think about myself being in a class. If I have a book in front of me, if I have already seen the page that I am on, I am gonna flip, forward in the page and look for what's coming next.
Especially if the kids have pictures to look at and it draws their eye.
Yeah, and they are constantly, like I am teaching one lesson. They are on completely different page saying, hey, look at this, and it has nothing, it's a future lesson.
Yeah, once they have made up their mind to do something, it's whatever it's looking at a page ahead of the ahead of the teacher or not, it's it's difficult to get them to change.
Good. Okay. So up at the top here, Richard says exactly. So, but they need that, It's the same with like a new book, I just give them time to page through it. Okay. To page through it, he means, I don't have a book anywhere. Just to flip through the pages, to look at the different pages. So he doesn't just give them the book and say, okay, time to learn. No, first he gives them, the kids, the books, and the kids can play with the books. They can look at the different pages, look at the different pictures. He gives them some time so that they can play with the book a little bit and they aren't so distracted by the book when they need to learn. Okay. If he doesn't do that, he says, otherwise, if I'm on page 2, they're on page 102, looking at, something completely not related to what I'm teaching. Okay. So he says, if I'm on page 2, they're on page 102. Why are the students on the wrong page? Harshit, can you tell me, why are the students on the wrong page? Otherwise, if I'm on page 2, they're on page 102. So why would the students be on the wrong page?
It is caused by tools,
The tools?
toys, coins.
Toys? No, we're talking about the book now.
Actually, I don't any guess.
You don't know? Okay, Zainab, can you tell us?
Because they're playing with the book and they see the book at the first time, so they're interested in, so they're distracted by book.
Good, exactly. The children aren't on the wrong page because they don't understand. They understand they should be on page 2. But the book is new and they're excited and they're distracted. They want to look, oh, there's a picture of a snake on this page. They want to look at the picture of the snake on page 102. So Richard gives them time to look through the book first so that they don't get so distracted by the other pages that are new and interesting and have cool pictures or something. Okay, so it's the same as the toys. He needs to use the toys to teach, but he lets them play with the toys first, so the toys aren't so distracting. Now he's doing that with the book too. He needs to teach with the book, but he lets them play with the book first, so the book's not so distracting. Okay, the book's not so exciting that they can't focus. Joe says, right, yeah. Richard says, but you know, it's the same with me. When I think about myself being in a class, if I have a book in front of me, if I've already seen the page that I'm on, I'm gonna flip, forward in the pages to look for what's coming next. Okay, so Richard, but it's the same with me. If I've already seen the page that I'm on, so the correct page, the page that the class is reading, the page that I'm on, the page I'm looking at now, I'm gonna flip forward. So keep turning the pages forward to bigger numbers in the pages and look for what's coming next. Yeah. So yeah, Joe's saying, I'm the same, if this page that I'm on is not exciting, I know this page already, I might want to look at what the new pages, what the next pages will be. I might get distracted too. Okay. Joe says, yeah, especially if the kids have pictures to look at and it draws their eye. What does this mean? Draws their eye. How about Hassan?
Picture children like picture wonder picture children like.
Good. Yeah, exactly. If something draws your eye, it's something you want to look at. It's interesting. It makes you want to look at it. Like a car crash, I think, is a good example. You see two cars crashed in the road. You have to look at it. You want to look at that. It's very hard to not look at that. For the children, it's hard to not look at the pictures. Yeah, and that's what Hassan was saying. It's difficult for them not to look. Richard, yeah, and they're constantly, like I'm teaching one lesson. They're on a completely different page saying, hey, look at this, look at this. And it has nothing, it's a future lesson. Okay? So I'm teaching one thing, the kids are on the wrong page and they're, hey, look at this picture. It's not today's lesson, it's something completely different. The kids are not paying attention. They're not focused. Joe, yeah. Once they've made up their mind to do something, it's, whether it's looking at a page ahead of the teacher or not, it's difficult to get them to change. So what does this mean? Made up your mind, made up their mind. Zainab?
Made up their mind. Meeting. Meeting. I don't know.
Don't know? Anyone want to try?
Yeah.
Focus.
Hirschit?
I think deciding a thing for doing that.
Good. Yeah, I made up my mind. I decided. I made my choice. Yeah. We usually say this after someone had difficulty to choose. Okay? It's very important. Like, let's say buying a car. Okay, I want to buy a car. I don't do this quickly, right? I don't just, oh, good morning. It's Monday. I'll buy a car. Okay, I go buy a car. No, I think about this for a long time. I'm looking, right? Maybe I want Mercedes-Benz or BMW. So I look at the two cars. Oh, this one goes further with the gasoline. This is better for gasoline. But this one has the better seats inside and the radio is better. And, what's good about this one? What's good about this one? I'm looking. After I'm thinking and thinking and thinking, okay, finally I choose. I decide.
Support.
Yeah, I made up my mind. Exactly. The meaning is exactly what Hirschit said, choose or decide. But usually we use it after it was difficult, after a long time of thinking. Okay. So once they've made up their mind to do something, whether it's looking at a page ahead of the teacher or not, it's difficult to get them to change. Okay. So once the children decide to do this, to flip through their books, it's very hard to stop them. That's what Joe is saying. Okay. And we're finished with this one. Are there any questions you guys have? Anything you want me to explain a bit more?
No.
Zainab's good? Hassan, you good?
Good.
What about Hirschit?
Yeah, it's good.
Good, okay. We got another 10 minutes or so. Okay. Here's a question. What do you think I mean when I say work-life balance?
Work-life
Work-life balance. Who wants to go first? How about Hassan? What do you think I'm talking about? A work-life balance.
I need to work balanced, not a lot of, not least. Private life. I have private life and work life need balanced.
Good. Exactly. No, Hassan, completely right. Yeah. If I work more, I get more money, but I have less time to enjoy my money. If I work less, I have more time, but I have less money to enjoy in my time. So I need to find the perfect spot, right? I make enough money that I'm happy, but I don't work too much that I can't relax. I don't have time for fun. Okay. So, how do you think your work-life balance is? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's too far one way? How about Hurshit?
Uh, uh, I love my job, but my job I think very tough. But I have the opportunity that is I have a decide to working time in my office. I have no working time, especially worker in the world always go to their work uh, in the morning and after working they come from work at 5 or 6 maybe it changes but my working time uh, uh, is in my control and for example someday I don't need to go my work at 9 o'clock and sometimes I don't need to come from my work at 5 o'clock. It it changes and it is in my control. Uh, so if I make a very good planning, uh, I have I have time for my life and my sports or the other things which I like very much, and I differentiate very well between my working time or my lifing time, and it is very good for me.
Okay, great. Thank you, Hurshit. What about you, Hassan? Do you think you have a good balance in your life?
No, these days I have to spend uh, a lot of time for work because my general uh, manager change. So new general manager want to a lot of reports, very fast work. So these days I work a lot of. I must work a lot.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Hassan. That's a good answer. Great. Zainab, how about the balance between your schoolwork and your personal life? Is it okay?
It's terrible. I don't have a balance with that. I don't even have a personal life. I can say that because I have to study all the time because I've got exams and they gave our homework. I don't even have a time to read book or watch TV. There's no time to do anything, so there's no balance in my life actually. My
Okay.
life becomes studying, and it's terrible.
I'm sorry. Geçmiş olsun. What about in Turkey as a country? What do you think about the balance between the work-life balance? How many hours in a week do most people work in Turkey? What would you say, Zeynep?
A lot of time, maybe a lot of people must be working a lot of time, spending their times in work, and some people work on Saturday and Sunday too, and I don't think they've got a good balance in work life.
Okay,
I can't say which hour.
good. Thank you, Zeynep. What do you think, Khurshid? In Canada, most people work about 40 hours in 1 week. What do you think it is in
40
Turkey?
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's very well about in Turkey. It is not same with Canadian times. It is more than Canadian times, and it is 45 hours in a week. This is a rule of working time. It is maximum time in a week, but it is change for week from to another week for owner decision, and it is only 45
Okay.
loving.
45. Good. What do you think is the perfect number, work-life balance?
I think in Turkey the working balance generally not good for people who is worker because I know this subject in Turkey what it means because the working time in Turkey exceed uh, with and surpass the 45 times in a week, 45 hours, because there are more hours than the law of 45 hours.
Ah, I see. The law is 45, but most people work more.
Because after working, workers generally have to work more hours, more hours.
Ah, okay.
After working 8 hours in a day, they always have to work a more hours.
Okay, good. Thank you, Hershey.
Yeah.
Hassan, what do you think about the work-life balance in Turkey? Is it good or bad?
Like my country, developing countries must people of developing countries must work more time, maybe 50, maybe 55. In this way, Turkey, maybe Turkey can developed country.
Okay, great. Very good answer, Hassan. Thank you for that. Very good. I like that answer. Yeah, perfect. Okay, great, you guys. Very good. We'll talk a little bit more about this topic maybe on Monday, but I think it's a good time to end things for tonight. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys again on Monday. Have a great weekend. And
See you on Monday.
see you. Good night.
Good
See you on Monday.
night.
See you later. See you, friends.
Goodbye.
Good night.